They're in Landra. They're late.
The league starts now that means they have missed out in going alongside with the European calendar. I don't know what has actually happened, the reason for the postponement, but I think it's actually needs to be a very good reason. If not, it's another slap on our face generally.
Well, from the NPFL, the Nigeria Premier Football League, that's a season, and the kickoff date has been shifted to September. That's next month. I forget not that it was earlier scheduled to get underway. That's August 26th or 27th, but September is the new kickoff month for the NPFL. Well, the reason for the change of date and postponement, according to the NPFL board, is to give room for clubs in CAF competitions complete their games so that all teams will start their NPFL at the same time. When they say completing their games now, you know, they are in preliminary rounds, so most of these teams are going to be playing in the preliminary round, which definitely will give them automatic berth into the group stage of CAF competitions. So this is what the NPFL board they are saying now. They want the teams to finish off their preliminary rounds now before they start the season.
I think this still boils down to lack of communication between CAF and the NFF or Nigerian Premier Football League, the organizers at large. Because to me, you know, European competitions, at least each countries, they play their respective local leagues and they play European competitions in their different continents. Americas, there is a way they do their leagues. In the Arab there is a way they do their leagues. So they communicate continentally, and all these nations, there's a way they communicate. But here in the CAF, now you say at least they know that these preliminary rounds are actually going to go ahead before this particular point in time. So why say they wanted to start the league in August in the first place and go alongside with the European plan in the first place? I think they should have their own scheduled plan, or generally all African nations should have their own scheduled plans that, okay, fine, this is when we are going to be starting our league. For example, there in South America, their league ends around December, if I'm right. I think the Arab is the ones that go alongside Europeans a little bit. If they want to follow suit that, okay, we want our league to be starting in August and ending by May, just like Europeans, they should do so, and they should do it and organize themselves in such a way that everything will be planned out successfully. But if they want the other way around, if they want to start their league by March, by April, they can start anytime they like. But this lack of communications and lack of organization, I think, is just part of something that is actually drawing us behind generally in Africa.
The South African League is set to begin this weekend. South African League is set to begin this weekend, and aside from that as well, using Europe as still as an example, forget not the teams who are also fighting for qualification in the UEFA Champions League, UEFA Europa League, and the Conference League as well, and they are playing qualifications games at this point as well as their normal season as well. So why is there a change of date from our own football league?
Probably maybe because our organizers, maybe they cannot undo too many things at the same time. For example, now, just like you said, European competition, they play too many matches. They based on for example, if you want to play in Europe, there are some leagues that even if you, for example, all these small leagues like Denmark, Scottish League, even if you are the winner there, you are the champion there, you have to start from preliminary qualifiers when you want to play in Europe. You know, different rounds. Look like what is actually happening to Chelsea at this moment. The round that Chelsea is starting the Carabao Cup, Chelsea is actually playing after West Ham. So some of these big guns are not actually starting, have not joined because of the position where Chelsea finished last season. So this Chelsea has to plan all these things ahead. So generally, the Premier League has to plan all these things ahead and accommodate them in this game. So the NPFL, I'm expecting them. They know these things. They know that these preliminary competitions are going to happen. So, and they know that all these clubs should be able to handle it, irrespective of whenever they are starting their calendar. For example, a Premier League will never, because of UEFA Champions League, adjust their calendar. They are starting their calendar by August, and
forget not that there was a UEFA Club World Cup with Liverpool had to play a quarter-final game against Aston Villa, and they had a game in the Club World Cup semi-finals as well the following day. But what happened? Liverpool actually had to stay back some teams there in England to play that game against Aston Villa, and some games also the others played at the game there in the Club World Cup, in which they eventually won. Well, of course, that's